ヤッホー、皆さんこんにちは、インニです。私は日本にいる留学生です。日本に来て4年になります。大学では英語で勉強していますが、言語を学ぶこと、特に日本語を学ぶことが大好きなので、日常生活では日本語を使っています。私はベトナム語、英語、日本語もちろん、あとは中国語、韓国語、スペイン語とタイ語、またはバハサ、インドネシア語、少しだけど話したり理解したりすることができます。しかし積極的に学習し力を入れているのは日本語です。2018年から2年間日本語を勉強して日本語能力試験 N2 を習得できて、今は N1 頑張って勉強しています。日本語確かに難しい言語だけど、今日私は日本語の勉強を始めた時に使った方法を紹介したいと思います。As I said, Japanese is a very difficult language to learn, but it is definitely possible. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about learning Japanese, let me introduce to you some of the tips that I use and found very helpful when I first started learning language, and specifically when I learned Japanese. So let's get to it. 始めましょう。Before we dive into the specific tips, we need to get one thing straight. If you're thinking that there's a magical way or a secret way to learning Japanese fast, I would have to disappoint you. There is no one correct way to learn a new language. It has to be personal. You have to find a way that works for you, your way of learning language, and then modify it as much as you can. It's okay if you don't know what your learning style is. That's why I'm here today. Number 1, understand your learning style. As I said, there is no one way of learning a language. Everyone learns it differently, and it may take a while for you to discover your learning pattern. For any language, there are 4 skills: reading, speaking, listening, and writing. I would highly recommend you to learn in this order: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Why? As a starting point, you need to familiarize yourself with the foreign sound. Once you can make sense of the sound, tones, pronunciation, you'll be able to practice and replicate it. Hence, speaking. Speak as much and as frequently as you can. And the more you speak, the more vocabulary you will need to expand the conversations. That's why reading is a great source of learning to expand your vocabulary backlog. Finally, you need to keep on practicing and learning to be proficient. So writing is a great way to add shapes, colors, and personality into your language ability. To be able to produce linguistic creation by yourself, for yourself, is a very rewarding experience. Some may be stronger in one aspect than the other. Some may be equally as talented in all of the skills. For me, it took me a really long while to realize that I'm better at speaking. My pronunciation for most languages is quite clear. I was given feedback that I have a really nice voice, and my pronunciation is most of the times pretty spot on. So that's what keeps me very motivated to keep on learning different languages. In contrast, I kind of suck at grammar, and writing takes me a while to master. Out of the 4 skills, which one are you the most confident in? Let me know in the comments below. Number 2, get your foundation right. Now that you have a general understanding of what your language learning style might be, let's dive directly into the Japanese language pool, the alphabet pool. So Japanese has 3 alphabets: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. If you are starting out, I would highly recommend you to know your hiragana and your katakana. Familiarize yourself with the characters. Hiragana is more soft and cursive, while katakana is more hard and more boxy. Hiragana is used a lot in daily writings, especially in okurigana. So to use with the kanji, and sometimes it is used to translate how kanjis are pronounced. Katakana is often used for foreign words, or it is also used to emphasize something you want to say. For example, すごい. You can do a quick search on Google how to write the alphabet, and then you can trace along the character. For this, practice makes perfect. I remember writing each character 100 times, and my notebook would be filled with a, I, U, E, O, kakiku, keiko, tachitsu, teto. Natsukashi. So I would just keep on writing and testing myself until I remember them. That is the analog way of learning. But these days there are a lot of websites or even apps that support you with digital types of learning methods. For kanji, which I know that many people fear, I also very fear kanji. For that, it gradually comes with time as you immerse yourself with the language. Precisely my third point, immerse in the language. Language immersion is to surround yourself, to hear and to use the language as frequently as possible. Why? Because the more you use a language, the faster you learn. Think about it. You master your native language because you've been using and you've been listening to your family, your teacher, your friends, your colleagues using it, and you've been practicing it ever since you were small. So your native language, Vietnamese, Korean, English, whatever it may be, just kind of come naturally to you. It should be the same for learning Japanese. Use Japanese as much as you can. I would recommend you to go to Japan. Just soak yourself in Japanese every day. I went to Japan for the first time when I first started studying Japanese, the alphabet and some basic greetings, and after 10 days, I wouldn't say my Japanese greatly improved, but I did got my ways around navigation, buying food, or just being able to say thank you or respond to the staff or people on the way. It was pretty fun. I was just actively using it every day that at one point I just started to think in Japanese. Definitely after that 10-day experience, I find Japanese less intimidating. That itself is a huge change in mindset, and it just makes me feel like I can learn Japanese. Other ways to immerse yourself in the language is to binge lots of Japanese material, anime, manga, newspaper, podcast, TV shows. There are so many ways you can do so. Especially if you have a Japanese friend, try to initiate the conversation and just keep the momentum going. Finally, number 4. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. So at the beginning of this video, I spoke in Japanese. You have no idea how many times it took me to just film that small intro. Because I still make mistakes even though I have N2, even though I've been studying Japanese and using it constantly for the past 4 years. Don't be afraid to make mistakes because you will make mistakes, and only by making mistakes can you learn. Write in Japanese as much as you can, speak in Japanese as much as you can. Do you have a Japanese friend or a language partner, tandem, or especially your Japanese grammar Nazi friends? This is a very good time to cherish them and tell them that they are very important to you. I remember messaging my Japanese friends online. I would try to write in Japanese as much as possible and trying to use as different words, vocabulary each time, or even grammar structure. And I really appreciate it when my friends just straight up tell me, this is not o, it's supposed to be ga, or you're not supposed to say manabu, it's supposed to be narau, or things like that. So just having someone call me out is kind of intimidating, but you will remember. So next time I know that I should not be using o, or I should be using ga, or this is the specific word I should be using in this context. It's very helpful. Just put yourself out there, and make as many mistakes as possible. And gradually, you'll be able to see your progress, whether it's just the number of words you remember, the number of kanji you're able to write, the less you translate a word or a sentence in your mind before saying it out loud and just naturally spitting Japanese in daily conversations. Practice makes perfect, and if you're able to find the methods that work for you and you keep on practicing it, then you will definitely be able to pick up Japanese really quickly, enjoy learning Japanese, and having fun and continuously learning and improving your Japanese ability. So that's are the tips that I would recommend beginners to learn Japanese, given by me, a Vietnamese polyglot. Polyglot? I can't even say that word. Polyglot. See, I'm also still learning. それでは皆さん頑張ってください. I hope that you know by the end of this video that learning language is not a one-day thing. Learning Japanese definitely takes a lot of time. I am still learning it, and I still find myself so many areas I can improve on. It is a continuous process, and it's a very personal process. Find what works for you. There are so many ways you can explore and learn Japanese, or even combine different learning methods together. Learning language should be fun, because when you have fun doing something, it wouldn't even feel like learning. It would just come naturally to you. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If anyone out there has any way to learn languages, especially Japanese for beginners, please comment down as well. Let's learn Japanese together. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on social media. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!